Dricus Du Plessis says it will be hard for Khamzat Chimaev to figure out his fight style because he doesn't quite understand it himself.
He fought a middleweight on a 10 days notice. He's fought Robert Whittaker, which obviously that was a great performance that earned him this title shot. But if you look at the size difference, just the size difference, just take that in consideration between me and a guy like Robert Whittaker, it's not the same. And then now he's coming into this fight for 5 rounds. I've proven that I can go crazy for 1 round and I can go crazy for 5 rounds. And that's what makes my fight style unique. Trying to figure out my fight style, that's going to be hard because I'm not 100% sure how it works. So it's going to be hard for people to figure this out. Whatever I'm doing, it is calculated, but I don't fight with your system that you just look, this guy as a good jab. I fight to what my opponent is doing, and I believe that's the future of this sport. I can't go in there and say, I'm going to take this guy down, or I'm going to grapple with him, or strike with him. Whatever happens in the fight, that's what makes you a champion, is adapting to whatever you see and doing what you have to do. You can't, and I think that's what makes me different. I'll have a whole fight camp just for striking, and when the opportunity is there, I'm taking a guy down, and the other way around. So I think that makes it different. It makes it different, and I think my power gets overlooked a lot of times. You know, physical strength and punch power, which can be but I think, you know, even with him, maybe he punches really, really hard. The one thing that sets me apart from every single person on the roster, and definitely in my weight, is the will to win and refusal to give up. There's no man that can break me. Mentally, I will never break. So that is what sets me apart, and that's what makes me a world champion.
Michael Venom Page is set to face Jared Cannonier this weekend at UFC 319. Normally competing at welterweight, MVP took this fight at middleweight since the division is tied up, with Islam Makhachev moving up to challenge Jack Della Maddalena for the title. He says he feels stronger carrying the extra weight, but admits that natural middleweights are used to being that size and will likely be able to absorb more of his shots compared to welterweights.
It makes it, obviously it makes cutting weight so much easier. I'm under zero stress. I feel stronger. I feel like I'm carrying more power. So that helps. The negatives is everybody else is naturally that strong, naturally hit that hard. So sometimes even when I'm landing certain shots, I'm like, if that hit a welterweight, they'll be on skaty legs right now. Whereas a middleweight, I'm gonna have to find that shot 3 and 4 times before I get the results that I want. But at the same time, because I'm new to middleweight, I haven't really spent enough time to kind of develop my body in a way it needs to be to truly be a middleweight. I've got the skill to do it, but not necessarily the frame as of yet. But that's what, if I make the decision that I'm going to stay up, then I'll adjust my training camp.
Last week, Artem Lobov claimed that BKFC owes him about $300,000 because they never paid him his pay-per-view points for when he fought Paulie Malignaggi. BKFC president David Feldman has responded to Artem on the Ariel Helwani show and said that that is not the case.
Last week on the program, David, you may have seen we had Artem Lobov on the show, and he claims that he is still owed some money from his time at BKFC. Do you have a response to this?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the case at all. I mean, I will tell you a little bit about the specifics. The guy, we did a little bit under 100,000 buys. And I know he claimed 200,000, but he claims we owe him 300,000, and he got $1 a pay-per-view buy. So it just, nothing adds up there. No one has ever said we didn't pay them, ever. So he's the only one that came out, and he came out 6 years later. And obviously he has a little animosity with Conor, and maybe it has something to do with that. But I've always treated Artem great, and I'll continue to treat him good. But at the end of the day, that's just not true.
Artem fired back at David Feldman via X. He wrote, 6 years later, me arse. I let you know multiple times. You apologized and said it would be sorted. Last time you spoke to my legal representative, you said you reinvested everything, and once you get money out, you'll look after me. Not that this matters. Honor the contract. He followed up with $1 up to 100K, $2 from 100K to 200K. That is what I have in my contract. You are the one that reported 200K pay-per-view sold, and you never provided me with any numbers, so I had to go by what you reported to the media. Still, where is my 75K? I shouldn't be looking for it. Honor our contract. Arman Tsarukyan says if he wins the lightweight title, he plans to wait for Islam Makhachev. The two fought back in 2019 with Islam winning via unanimous decision, and Arman is eager to avenge that loss.
You go get this belt from Ilya, you go get the fight from Ilya, what happens next?
I'm gonna defend as much as possible. I wanna be the greatest fighter in the world because I know how I work, how I dedicate for this sport, and I know I gotta be the best in this sport because I love it so much, and I give myself to this sport, and it's gotta pay off.
You get the belt, you beat Ilya, you move up, you fight Islam. We get the fight.
I'll be waiting for him in 155 years.
You wait for him to come back down.
Yeah.
Israel Adesanya gives his official prediction for Dricus Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev.
But yeah, Khamzat, from what you've already said, he showed his hand. He's gonna go after him from the get-go. But DDP, I think, can weather the storm and probably finish Khamzat later on. Because Khamzat, if it gets to round 3, 4, 5, it's gonna be a problem. It probably won't get to round 5. I say round 3 or 4, DDP. But if Khamzat's gonna win, it's gonna be in the first round. It's gonna be impressive. It's gonna be like spectacular. It's gonna be violent. But yeah, I'm gonna go with DDP. Yeah, I think he'll get it done. I think it's just stubborn. I'm gonna go Dricus by late TKO.
Mike Perry is set to face Jeremy Stephens at BKFC 82 on October 4th. Perry last competed in a boxing match against Jake Paul, losing via TKO in the 6th round. Stephens is coming off a unanimous decision loss to Mason Jones at UFC Des Moines. Perry posted this on X. He wrote, "If y'all haven't heard, October 4th, I'm the main event. BKFC against who the f is that guy? In New Jersey. I'm going to absolutely obliterate his face. He's been talking his little shit here and there, and come fight night, he will have bit off more than he can chew. Hashtag good night." Jeremy Stephens posted this to his Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, "Delusions to reality. The people's king of violence. Jersey streets run red with Perry's blood. Too hot for TV. Don't miss it." Kamaru Usman got a bit annoyed with Henry Cejudo on the latest episode of the Pound for Pound podcast. When Henry was giving his prediction for Dricus Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev, he labeled Dricus as the king of Africa. Usman also gave his prediction for the fight and seems to have doubts that Dricus will be able to handle Khamzat's wrestling.
I do believe that DDP is going to get the job done in the later rounds. Even if it goes decision, I am going with the king of Africa, DDP.
You know, you had me until you said some stupid things like that.
Well, why?
Why? You had me until you said that. Anywho, I don't understand. I don't understand why you would. I don't understand why you would say that people counted. Listen, Khamzat Chimaev has been able to go in there. And when we said this, you know what? You came on this show and you said that Robert Whittaker was going to be able to stop the takedown and go out there and beat Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat went in there and made it look easy. You said he made it look easy. Not to mention, he went in there against a wiry Kevin Holland who can scramble. He went out there and made it look easy. We saw the last time he wrestled. We saw the last time he fought a wrestler. That was Derek Brunson. And we saw how that looked in the first couple of rounds. You know, Derek just, eventually I believe gassed out, and DDP does what he does best. And that's DDP will not give up. That's what we love about him. He will not give up. DDP will continue to try. And if DDP continues to try, and if Khamzat Chimaev hasn't done his work with that cardio, then I see DDP definitely turning this one around. But for me, this is a very, very tough one. But I think Khamzat Chimaev might actually go out there and get it done.
Daniel Cormier has started lifting weights after wrestling Khamzat Chimaev yesterday. If you missed that footage, it didn't go so well for DC.
I'm not ready.
Come on. What is this? You big guy now? Huh? You big guy now? Oh. Hey, let me see. Oh. What? Holy Hey, God, man. My bad, dog. Holy what the was that? First time I locked somebody picked me up like that. What was that? God damn, boy, you feel strong. What do you weigh? You ready to go, huh? Even I got some rest Jesus Christ.
DC posted this photo to his Instagram today. In the caption he wrote, "After the way Khamzat lifted me, I figured I needed to lift more." Jean Silva says he plans to play with Diego Lopes's emotions during fight week. The two are set to fight at Noche UFC on September 13th. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, Silva said, "I am not going to fight him. I'm going to beat him up. I'm beating him up. That's it. It's a win. One of the things that excites me is just getting that bag as well, because it's rising. It's getting bigger every time. It's just an opportunity to get a new watch here, maybe get a new car, maybe get a new apartment. So that's one of the reasons why we fight as well. So it does excite me because that's a good, different kind of bag out there. But as far as the fight, or being there with Diego Lopes, there's some things that are for sure. I'm going to get translated up in that octagon afterwards. It's that Dana White is going to clap. It's that Bruce Buffer is going to announce me as the winner, that I won another fight. Maybe Volkanovski will be there and come up, or be able to watch me and say, hey, he's next. That's what's going to happen. Those things are for sure. So I would give him a 10. I'll give him a 10 because you know what? Throughout the week or before, in all of his interviews, he said, if I win, he said, if I win against Volkanovski. And that's what he did. He went out there and the if was there. So he delivered. He had a very great fight. He handled his own business and it was just an if. And Volkanovski, for every interview, it was, I'm going to win. I'm going to be champion again. I'll get that belt back, and that's what he did. So I'll give Lopes a 10 because he delivered on his promise. The if is part of it. The if is part of his life. Just like now, he says, listen, if I win, he's been talking about this for the fight against me, that if he wins, he feels like he could fight one more time then for the title. It's part of his vocabulary, and it's part of his life. I give him my time because he delivered on a promise on just being if. Diego's a very emotional guy, and I'm going to love playing with his emotions during that fight week. Aaron Pico opened up on what it was like training with Khamzat Chimaev in the lead up to UFC 319. Despite making his UFC debut, Pico believes that if he can beat Lerone Murphy, he'll already be in the conversation for a featherweight title shot.
I really enjoy training with him because his aura, his intensity. I thrive off of competing with guys that have the same mindset of, like me, and he's just trying to be the best in the world, and so am I. So a lot of exercises that we had to do, we were competing against each other and pushing ourselves, and I can't wait to watch him do his thing on Saturday night, and it was an honor to train with him, to be completely honest with you. When I found out I was fighting Lerone Murphy, I was excited. At this point, I just want to get in there and make my UFC debut, but I think with a great performance, I'm definitely in the talk about fighting for a belt. But it is what it is. I have to be prepared to fight anybody in the world, and I've expressed that to the UFC, and they're giving me top guys, which I wanted. So no walk in the park, but I'm mentally and physically ready for it.
Conor McGregor posted some new sparring footage. Ali Abdelaziz commented on it. He said, easy to look good sparring with an Uber driver. Let me know what you guys think of the footage in the comments. Two fights have been canceled last minute on UFC 319. King Green, formerly known as Bobby Green, has pulled out of the fight against Diego Ferreira for undisclosed reasons. According to the UFC, the fight will be rescheduled to a later date. Ferreira informed BJPenn.com that he was already at 162 pounds, and his weight cut was ahead of schedule. Green has yet to directly comment on the situation. However, last night he posted this to his Instagram story. He wrote, "No one will understand my pain, my strength, or journey. Additionally, the Ultimate Fighter finale fight between Daniel Danchenko and Rodrigo Cezinando has also been canceled. Cezinando reportedly suffered an ankle injury. The UFC reported that this fight will be rescheduled for Noche UFC on September 13. Khamzat Chimaev says he's open to fighting Alex Pereira whether he wins or loses in the rematch with Magomed Ankalaev. The rematch goes down for the light heavyweight title at UFC 320 on October 4th.
Do you see yourself getting the belt and then going to fight Alex Pereira?
Well, it depends if he wins, well, we'll see. But actually, if he wins, if he lost, if they give you good money, I'm gonna fight that guy, so why not?
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to the video of Khamzat Chimaev wrestling Daniel Cormier. The first one's from Why Use a Handle. It says the fact that Khamzat can pick up a 650-pound DC is impressive. The second one says breaking. Chimaev pulls out of the fight due to back pain. And the final one's from Noah. It says picking up a 2 cement truck sized DC is crazy. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.